I'm Katherine Ryan, and this is Write Me Dirty. Coming up this week...
Not a glory hole.
Not a glory hole.
Yeah.
Is Ian like a midwife in this story or just a pervert?
Just a pervert.
Okay.
It's big time negging to say
It's
someone
negging.
fucks a cat. It wasn't specific or quick.
Okay. What's this micro penis lord gonna do? Big dicks causing property damage, big dicks.
I just, you write what you know.
Yeah. Sundays are tricky little days. Sometimes they're filled to the brim with expensive lunches, a touch of shopping, and of course, a bull semen facial. Other times, they're completely empty. And so, on this lonesome Sunday, as I stood in my library fingering my books, I wondered how I would fill my day. Maybe I'll start renovating, turn this library into a ballroom. That way I can spend all my time sashaying, dancing, laughing at my own jokes. But I let that silly thought pass. What a silly little thought indeed. However, as I sat upon my washing machine for its most vigorous cycle, it got me thinking, what if this room had once been a banquet hall filled with the most interesting people in the world, eating, dancing, and perhaps even shagging? What if a waiter's fingers had accidentally grazed the hand of a lord so gently it made the lord tremble? What if a countess had sucked the bones off a chicken leg so softly it had made a count almost fall to his knees? What if these very walls had seen an aristocrat slut-dropped Flow Rider? What if? I must hear this story told in full. I called one of my assistants immediately and requested he scour the land for two of the dirtiest writers he could find. Find them and tell them whomever writes the naughtiest story will get a firm handshake from the richest, most gorgeous, successful comedian in the land. It's me. Assistant had no trouble locating two of the dearest peasants to tell me how this story would go and to write me dirty. Hello, I'm Katherine Ryan, and each week I ask two guests to write a naughty, dirty, filthy story about each other. And today, my two naughty nerds are Amy Gledhill and Ian Smith. Welcome.
Hello. So I panicked because I didn't know what camera to look at, and then I forgot to say anything.
You panicked because of that or because you've written some pure filth about your colleague?
Gross, Ian.
Do we have an HR department? I mean, how did you feel? Amy, how did you feel about the brief today and what you had to bring to the table?
It was tricky. No offence to Ian.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely boy, but tricky to view him in a different light.
Really?
Yeah.
A different light.
Yeah.
A sexual one.
So don't use that word.
You hadn't viewed Ian in a sexual light before?
No.
And that's
I'm
weird
sorry,
because
Ian.
I had my story already written, and then when the podcast come through, I was like, I can just use that one.
Yeah. How many female comedians have you got dirty stories about, Ian, in your butt?
Usually when a new female comedian gets in, like say a prestigious new act competition final, so they're on my radar, I will write an erotic story about them.
Nice. I saw you in the Funny Women audience, actually, and I thought you were a judge, but
yeah.
No,
I wanted to add a bit more texture to the story, so I like to go and see them live and
that's nice.
sometimes ask a bit more about them.
And how do you know Amy? Ian, when did you guys first meet on the circuit?
I think we first met. So obviously we do a podcast together, Northern News, but I think we first met in Edinburgh and another comedian called David Callahan. And I think the first year I stayed with Amy, she was also that was the year you were doing massages as additional Edinburgh Fringe income. I'd sometimes walk past Amy's room and there was just like a table with like a hole in it or something. And she'd just be massaging someone.
All for the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing else.
No, not a glory hole.
Not a glory hole.
Yeah. But that was my first impression of Amy, sort of living with her in Edinburgh, which was very fun. And occasionally seeing her getting to work on some muscle tension.
Where were you finding these patrons, Amy?
Facebook.
Are we? Would you just whisper into their ear to hopefully also buy a ticket to your show? Were you flyering the massages?
Do you know what? It happened the other way around. So I was doing a show in my double act, The Delightful Sausage, which is really absurd and gross. and mucky. It's like really mucky stuff. And then people would come. They'd come up the stairs to the flat, and I'd be in my little massage tunic,
What?
trying to be like professional, and they'd go, "Oh, I've just seen your show about bumholes and maggots," and I was like, "Come in, relax. Don't think about the bumholes and maggots. Breathe."
Great.
Yeah.
Did you fancy any of your clientele?
No. I am trained. This wasn't me just giving it a go. I just want to put that out there.
Sure.
And they train you in massage not to go on men's ears.
Why not?
Because it's too sexual and
Wow.
often causes erections.
What?
Genuinely. Yeah.
Really?
That's part of your training. And you also learn how to deal with an unwanted erection.
How do you deal with an unwanted
You
erection?
ignore it.
Was that all they said?
Yeah, it's literally like,
Lesson 4, how to deal with an erection. Just pretend it's not there.
yeah.
I mean, sounds a lot like my marriage.
Okay.
It works. Do you know a lot about sex from this teaching or from your own life? I mean, like, what are your sexual fantasies, Amy?
I haven't had sex for a year. It's been a year now.
You shouldn't be having sex.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Because do you know what? I know about some of your dating history and I'm not impressed.
Okay.
And and it's okay. I don't judge you because I've absolutely been there.
Mhm.
But you need some time off. You know, you need like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Then like go back in.
Yeah.
And then you'll have enough self-respect to hopefully choose better. Like we know, your friends, we know you deserve.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ian, do you have any sexual fantasies?
I don't think I do. I was thinking about this. I'd be really sad if I had like a fetish,
Yeah.
because I just think it's so difficult of like what like date or what avenue in a trusting relationship do you go, I'm really sorry, you've got to butter some bread really thick and you've got to slap it on my body. Like something like that. I'd just be like, I'd be too stressed about that all the time.
That was so specific and so quick. That is definitely your fantasy.
It was
No, it
very
wasn't,
northern.
Amy.
It was very
Yeah, it
northern
was
as
very
well.
It wasn't specific or quick.
Okay.
I don't even like bread.
I think it's time to hear your stories. As you know, you have each been set the task of writing the naughtiest story that you can about each other, and you've been asked to include a setting, a character, and a prop. I have set you the task to include an aristocrat at a banquet, and the props must include a quill and a cheese and onion pie. The winner shall receive a firm handshake from me, and their story will gain place of privilege on my dirty, dusty, filthy bookshelf. Consent is very important in the Write Me Dirty library, so who would like to go first?
Do you have a preference, Amy?
Oh, well done,
Thank you.
Ian.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Oh, what are you running from? Do you want Amy to go first?
Yeah, Amy can go first,
Oh.
if she'd like.
Amy, what's the story called?
It is called The Mucky Ring.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay.
Back to bumholes and maggots, unfortunately.
Ian James Smith was a lowly cow farmer from bottom of Hill. His life was slop and muck as far as his milky eyes could see, but he had dreams. Dreams of eating indoors with knife and fork, of pissing somewhere other than on his own feet.
Amy, what is this old D language, the T apostrophes?
Oh, it's very Yorkshire that we say like,
Is it?
shop, let's go to shop. It's like but I'm putting it in when it shouldn't be.
Sorry, as a Canadian, I was unfamiliar. But it adds to the realism. I feel like I'm on the farm.
He has dreams of feeling the warm skin of another human rather than just that of his panting bovines. Ian spent an inordinate amount of time hugging his cows. Yes, partly for himself, but he found he had a great calming effect on them. He was the only farmer in the East Riding who believed that getting on a cow's back and straddling it whilst it was giving birth was the correct method. He was known amongst the community as the cow fondler, or how Ian would pronounce it, the cow fondler.
That's very northern.
Was there an extra t on the end as well?
Yeah, there was, yeah. Just for Yorkshire.
As a cow who's given birth
Yeah.
just many times,
Yeah.
I feel turned off by a man who would sit atop me.
Yeah.
While I'm in that kind of...
It's a powerful move.
It must help push things out.
Maybe.
I love that you're instantly defending it. Like, I know what I'm doing, Katherine.
That's what he's doing in this story. He's a trained cow farmer.
Yeah. Is Ian like a midwife in this story or just a pervert?
Just a pervert.
Okay.
Just a full pervert.
Okay.
At the top of the hill lived Lord Oxbridge, a not untalented man, but someone who was so dripping in unchecked privilege that his relationship with reality was that of a kitten chasing a bubble in a gust.
Ooh, lovely.
That's quite nice. I liked that.
Good work, Amy.
His wife, Lady Oxbridge, hated him.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I see what's going to happen.
Here we go. She found him childlike and self-obsessed, edgeless, without grit or mystery, too damn clean to be sexy. On this night every year, the Oxbridges hosted their annual banquet called Ball for All.
Ooh.
A great feast celebrating the wonderful diversity found around the hills. It was a real hodgepodge of folk from all genders, lineages and peerages.
Oh, hang on.
Right.
So Oxbridge, even though an elitist,
Yeah.
he includes the entire community in this very diverse ball for all.
So almost. Yeah, so very almost, because the amazing thing was it didn't matter where in the world they came from. They all happened to be from the same class.
Oh.
Lord Oxbridge saw beauty in that. Sometimes there'd be a backlash from the bitter, uninvited guests saying it's not diversity if you all went to the same university.
Very left-wing story, I like.
Thank you so much. But he'd laugh it off and say he couldn't understand their accents. Basically, this is because I know Ian maybe now and again has a chip on the old shoulder about the posh.
What's that chip, Ian?
Sometimes I find I'll like Google a celebrity's name, I'll see that they're from an incredibly wealthy background or privately educated, and I just do a little scream to myself. Yeah, so it's just stuff like that. Like I think of the last BAFTAs, they were like, out of the English nominees, like 80% of the BAFTA nominees were privately educated, and then I just sort of go, fuck! But then remember that I haven't done anything that would even be in consideration or worthy, and I haven't put any effort in. But
you know what? I feel, Ian, that when you're campaigning for social justice, it might seem that it's about you, but it's not. You would just like to see your demographic fairly represented.
Yeah.
And you see them including different ethnicities, maybe genders, but socioeconomic background is not considered. And I would like to take time to thank the producer of this podcast for my wine and for the show, and that's Jamie Lang, whose grandfather is, of course, the Biscuit King. Long may he reign. Thanks for letting us use your garage. Go on, Amy.
Lady Oxbridge grew weary of the same guests year in, year out. She should be down there now, really, being the hostess, but she was in no rush. As she relaxed in her state-of-the-art tin bath, she slid her wedding ring on and off her slippery finger, daring to dream about a life unchained from Lord Oxbridge. For a second, her mind wandered to thoughts of another man, someone rough and scummy. She imagined her skin fine like Lady Diana commemorative china, being caressed by a man with the rough, dry hands of a fisherman, or someone who overuses antibacterial hand gel.
Okay, can I just take a minute here? Ian, how are you feeling about...
If you were to sort of get all the men in the world on a scale,
yes,
I'd say I'd be towards the smoother-handed men.
Yeah, look at your hands now. Let's see your hands.
I don't do manual labour. Do stuff like this, podcasts. And
his fingers calloused from podcasting.
Yeah, holding the podcast mic so tightly.
So she's in the bath, eyes closed. She traces a soapy finger over her cheek, down her neck and towards her navel.
Uh-oh.
Just then, Amy, her chambermaid, bangs on the bathroom door. She's so fit, but kind too. A real catch, everybody said so. Lady Oxbridge, sorry to disturb your bath wank, but Lord Oxbridge requires your immediate presence in the billiard room. We don't have a billiard room, Lady Oxbridge replied. I know, ma'am, he's drunk, Amy said, fetching Lady Oxbridge's towel and helping her out of the bath. Upon standing in the cold, the steam rose off Lady Oxbridge's wet skin like a freshly baked cheese and onion pie.
Nice.
Fuck!
Points.
It's in there!
My favourite bit was when you did a sort of voice for Amy Gledhill, even though it's you.
Ma'am.
Thanks, I'm proud of that, actually. She wrapped herself in the towel and dripped through to the bedroom. Amy opened the window and began throwing out bathwater. She really is so fit. The water, as usual, trickled down the hill to Ian's farm, where he waited with his rag, ready to use it for a wash for him and Betty, his favourite heifer.
So I'm just going to wash myself in the cow.
Yeah.
I love the word heifer.
As he was lathering up Betty's rump, he noticed something twinkling in the muddy suds. It was a ring. Lady Oxbridge's wedding ring, no less. Yes. I must take this up to hilt at Lady Oxbridge at once.
So honourable.
Ian exclaimed to Betty, who didn't reply because she's a literal cow. He gave her a big old hug and a kiss on the mouth and put on his best and only jacket and set off up to hilt.
Am I going to have sex with a person, do you reckon? So far, I'm just having sex with this cow and kissing it on the lip.
I'm a bit worried that Ian has a jacket. What's it for? Has he been to court? Has he been?
It's his court. In the north, we have a jacket, and you either use it for court or funerals.
Okay, so he's been to funerals. So he does. You have contact with people.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lady Oxbridge, freezing cold and soaking wet in naught but a bath sheet, attended her husband's call. Whatever is the matter, dear? What is so urgent as to interrupt my bath wank? Bath wank.
Yeah, I was going to interject there. Yeah,
interrupt my bath wank. Sulking like an intoxicated toddler, Lord Oxbridge replies, "My favourite quill. It's missing." Quill.
Yes.
Quill. "Have you checked your drawer, darling?" says Lady Oxbridge. "Yes, sir. Stop having a go at me. How on earth will I write my award-winning plays?" Lord Oxbridge stomps. "You'll do what you always do, dear. Pay someone else to write them." Lady Oxbridge puts a hand on his shoulder to comfort him and notices with a jolt her wedding ring is missing. She hides her hand immediately. If he's upset about a quill he's literally never used, the ring would tip him over the edge into one of his infamous man-baby bouts, which could last for months. And with over 50 guests, all called Sebastian, in the main hall, this would be catastrophic. There is a knock at the back door. The back door is rarely used. Birthdays, and sometimes, if there's a heavy flow of goods being delivered. Amy's fit footsteps can be heard going to answer. Standing on the doorstep, stinking of cow, is Farmer Ian. Amy greets him, but Ian is speechless. Weirdly, not by her fitness, but by the interior of the aristocrat's house. No slop or muck in sight. Exactly the sort of place you could eat with a knife and a fork. Unbelievable. "I have something belonging to Lady Oxbridge. May I see her?"
And I'm okay with that voice as well. It's deeper, it's manlier than mine.
It's good, it's nice.
I have to distinguish it from mine. Amy laughed. "I doubt she'd want to see you, Farmer Ian, on account of you stinking like shit and having a reputation as a cow fiddler."
She's on the BAFTA committee.
"Sorry, I think you're all right there. We should do a podcast." "What is a podcast?" replied the cow fiddler. "Dunno," said Amy, but she knew she was on to summit.
Yeah.
"Leave us, Amy." Lady Oxbridge stood atop of the stairs, staring at Farmer Ian's rough, muddy hands. She gulped. Amy scurried away to patent podcasts, leaving the two of them alone. "Lady Oxbridge, I have something for you," Ian croaked out. "Come inside," Lady O purred. Oh, it's heating up now.
Yes.
Delighted to be in a structure made of brick, Ian came inside and closed the door behind. Lady Oxbridge had dropped her bath sheet and was stood completely naked.
My.
Well, she hasn't even said it, just straight into it.
Well, she did explain, "Come inside."
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Oh
Says
my
it all,
God,
really.
yeah. She walked over to him, took his brutish hands in hers, feeling the ring. Ian was moved by the warmth and softness of a human hand. Over the hubbub of Sebastian's in the next room, Lady Oxbridge whispers, her lips an inch away from his, "Is it true you fiddle cows?" Ian looks at the floor, yes, getting a glimpse of her breasts on the way down. He'd actually done so well maintaining eye contact right up until now. Someone should give him a bloody medal. If loving them and caring for them and making them feel safe is fiddling, then yes, I guess I do.
So is that sort of confirming that I don't have sex with the cows?
I hope you don't. Does he have sex with
It's
the cow?
ambiguous. You know, readers can read into it whatever they want.
I don't know. I feel less turned on by the protagonist if I feel that he's been inside a cow.
You, okay.
Well, I've definitely been inside them, but probably just with the birthing process.
Yeah, yeah.
But are these half man, half cow babies?
We can't talk about the calves. They look
calves
weird.
are
They stand
fucked.
upright. They've got
next,
thumbs.
The next one is called Silence of the Calves.
Oh, God.
Yeah. This is all Lady Oxbridge ever wanted to hear from her pathetic husband. She pulled the farmer close and pleaded, "Then let me be your cow." After a few awkward minutes of Ian trying to milk her, he clocked that she meant sex stuff. When she said, "I meant sex stuff," and things really kicked off. Limbs entangled, hair got tangled, and dicks went right up.
Dicks? How many dicks? Where are all the dicks coming from?
I presume he's got a few. I don't know.
Like an udder sort of system. I've got 6 dicks.
Ripe for milking. Lady Oxbridge pushed the horrible, dirty fingers into every orifice she could think of.
Dirty fingers.
And then 2 she couldn't.
Huh?
In the heat of the moment, the farmer did his signature move. He, respectfully, asked Lady O to get on all fours, and he mounted her like a pregnant cow. He began to rhythmically ride her, arm in up to his elbow, saying things like, "That's it, girl, nearly out now. Keep going, keep going." As she was reaching the irreversible peak, he galloped her through the doors to the main hall, where she knocked over a gravy jug, dousing them both, threw her head back and let out an almighty moo. This is mad.
I've ridden her into where other
The
people
banquet.
are.
Yeah, into the banquet.
Is her husband there?
Well, I'm sure we're going to find out.
What's this micro penis lord gonna do? Not much, I bet.
The Sebastians were still and silent, all eyes on the lovers as they collapsed in a heap. "I'll be getting took back then," the farmer panted, and left Lady Oxbridge twitching in ecstasy on the floor. Lord Oxbridge appeared through the crowd, full of adrenaline. "I knew it! My quill was in my drawer like you said." He stood over her naked body, not for a second thinking anything amiss. "Why is your ring so mucky?" he asked. "Because I fucked a farmer and it's covered in his slop," she replied.
Well.
Lord Oxbridge laughed, maybe because he thought it so implausible as to be a joke, but probably because he had already stopped listening and started thinking about how much money his dad has. Amy, honestly, looking like an angel at this point, it's just so hot.
Amy sounds fit.
She's so fit, Katherine. I think she's brilliant and single and hasn't had sex for a year.
We're finding out why.
Oh, God. Amy sits with Ian in the servants' quarters, which is basically a cupboard, or I don't know, a podcast studio, and they're having an award-nominated chat. "Go on, try 'em," says Amy. With that, Ian picks up his first ever knife and fork. A dream come true. And down at the farm, Betty, Ian's favourite cow, got the night off.
God.
Oh, but the night off makes it sound like the blissful relief from me.
Ambiguous,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, fair enough.
Amy, I don't know if it is ambiguous. It really feels like Ian is engaging in bestiality with the cows.
They're having a hug and a kiss, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
If there's something wrong with that, then...
I don't want to live in a world where there's something wrong with that.
I think the standout character of Mucky Ring was Amy. Amy's fit. Amy's luminescent. She's single. We know that. I would maybe have liked to see a protagonist who wasn't engaging in illegal behavior with animals. I liked learning about the T apostrophe Yorkshire thing.
Thank you.
Didn't know about that. And I just thought it was a really beautifully written story, but I'm not in the story. Ian, how did you feel about this erotic fiction, which is inspired by you?
Yeah, I guess like when you said you weren't over the moon with there being bestiality in it, I feel like I haven't come across fantastically there.
It kind of feels exciting to me, like kind of schoolyard games. Like maybe you do fancy Ian because you've had to create an entire narrative
Oh my God,
where
this is
he abuses
hell.
animals just so that he believes you don't actually fancy him. And that's very like knocking someone's school books out of their hands in kindergarten.
It's big time negging to say
It's
someone
negging.
fucks a cow.
Ian, what's your story called?
My story is called Come for the Pies, Stay for Amy Gledhill. C-U-M. Come for the
I
pie.
love that.
Oh, it's nice, isn't it, when you're
So
nice to people?
Come for the pies.
And at one point, see if you can spot it, there's a genuine educational shortcrust pastry recipe.
Oh,
This is cool. It's
you
already
know
cool.
what a woman likes.
Yeah.
This is erotic fiction and like trad wife all rolled into one.
I think Amy's does have more sexual descriptions.
We'll see.
Okay. Cocklethorpe Hall was the home of handsome yet lonely Lord Cocklethorpe, or Henry to his friends, of which he had none, as it was impossible for him to have platonic relationships due to his raw sex appeal.
Oh, wow. Hang on, Ian. What is his name?
Lord Cocklethorpe.
Cocklethorpe.
Thorpe.
In my accent. Cocklethorpe.
Yes. His vast estate, and I'm now talking about his penis,
Wow.
was known all around the Yorkshire area, as was his vast estate. And I'm now talking about his house and grounds. As the windy months drew closer, anticipation grew for the elusive Lord Cocklethorpe's annual fuckfest.
Whoa.
His banquets, with food made entirely from aphrodisiacs, would descend into orgies that one year lasted a whole fortnight. But there was a huge problem. Due to a series of incidents, there was a national shortage of every single aphrodisiacal food.
Oh, no.
There were no artichokes due to a horrifying blight. Asparagus spears had all been taken by the British Army to use as actual weapons. And eating oysters had been outlawed after someone thought they heard one of them talk, and now that was being looked into by the RSPCA. Word was put out around neighbouring towns to find a chef or chefienne, a female chef.
Oh.
I've got you guys covered. I know that's how women like to be addressed.
It's actually chefette, but that's
Chefette.
fine. Yeah, you're learning.
Okay, so a chefette who could cook an erotic banquet that would get the randy aristocrats of Cocklethorpe banging for anything up to 2 weeks.
Wow.
Lord Cocklethorpe was recommended to hire Amy Gledhill, known to some as the erotic pastry witch.
Wow.
A woman famed for pies which could turn even the tamest of men into potent lovers, with the stamina of Paula Radcliffe and the penis of a horse.
Wow. Whoa. Hang on. I'm not sure who Paula Radcliffe is.
She's a marathon runner who once did a shit on the side of a road.
What? Huh?
Mid-marathon.
Mid-marathon.
A British one? Yeah. A British shit, yeah.
Marathon
Full British
runner.
shit, yeah.
What year?
I don't know.
Like while I was here?
I don't think she did it to offend you.
Yeah. People heard her say, this is for Katherine Ryan.
Damn.
Gledhill was summoned to Cocklethorpe Hall and told to bring all her ingredients for the bangathon. In the kitchen, Miss Gledhill was met with 2 helpers. The first was Melvin, who had an arched back that made Quasimodo look like Adrian from Yoga with Adrian, and an accent so northern that most people could only make out the word gravy. The other one was Ian Smith and actually looked all right.
Oh.
And that's the most I've complimented myself. Actually looked all right. Lord Cocklethorpe entered the kitchen. His tight horse-riding trousers made it possible to count individual pubic hairs. He was inexplicably topless, dripping in sweat, and crushing a grapefruit in each hand, using the juice to add texture to his already immaculate hair. Miss Gledhill had never felt such an attraction to someone since she saw that man who wore 3/4 length pants.
What? What's that, man?
I just thought that's a fun thing to be attracted to. I've heard a lot about you, he purred. It's not all true, Lord sorry, do Amy's voice. It's not all true, Lord Cocklethorpe, said Amy flirtatiously. lifting her skirt up to reveal one of the finest examples of an ankle you've ever seen.
Oh,
Thank God it was ankle. My.
Yeah, another compliment I noticed
the
there.
northern word for vagina.
Yes. Yeah.
Call me Henry, he said nervously. By this point, Amy had counted over 40 pubic hairs. I hear your pies are a guarantee of lust, but I find it hard to believe a pie could be an aphrodisiac. They're so working class. Oh, but you're wrong. Let me show you. She gestured for Melvin and Ian to leave. Melvin waddled out while Ian did a more normal walk. Come, stand behind me. Cocklethorpe stood behind Amy, his bulbous cream chinos greeting her behind like a pack of sausages greets a frying pan.
Sizzling.
Oh my gosh.
Sizzling.
That
I
is.
don't think I can write sexy stuff. She placed his hand in hers. He'd never known such tenderness before. This was a man who was used to banging people whose names he couldn't even remember and using a candelabra as a sex toy. But what was this? A tingle not just in his dingle, but in his mind.
Oh.
It's romantic.
A tingle, not just in his dingle.
Not just in his dingle.
Wow.
Tingle in his mind.
Mm.
That's really lovely. Ian.
Thank you. Hand in hand, Amy sifted 250 grams of plain flour into a mixing bowl, adding 125.
Here comes the recipe.
I find this funnier than more people. 125 grams of diced butter before rubbing it with their combined fingertips, then adding milk and a dash of oil.
Ooh, it's a bit like Ghost.
Mm.
I'm with it.
Yeah, she's got his hands like that, and she's guiding his hands to
This is
gently
good.
rub in
Got
the
it.
short crust into a sort of crumb before adding your wet mix to make it a more stable mixture.
And what's the wet mix?
The wet mix is milk and it's but I think a very small amount of milk and a dash of oil if you feel like it needs it.
Because before you said come for the pies, and I was thinking,
Come for the pies.
Yeah, well, my original story, I edited out a bit where at the end they he comes into a pie and then they bake it and eat it. But that bit got edited out.
Always go with your first instinct, I
Really?
think.
Wowee.
Yeah,
That's hardcore.
it gets more sexual.
Okay, we'll stay on track.
What was happening to Cocklethorpe? He'd never cooked before. That was for the poor. He'd never had pie before. That was also for the poor. And by God, he'd never felt lust like this. Cocklethorpe had to move away. What was this witchcraft? He doesn't feel. He doesn't fall in love. He hasn't had an emotion since his mother died. And no one can say he has. No one. Amy put the pastry in some cling film and placed it in the fridge for 20 minutes. I know something we can do in 20 minutes, she suggested, with a wink of the eye and a taking off of all her clothes.
Oh,
I'm afraid I have to go, said a flustered Cocklethorpe. Those antique silver dishes won't fill themselves with condoms for the party.
Why is he leaving? Why is he running out so fast?
He's panicking. He's only ever
Because
gangbanging.
he's in love.
Yes, it's emotion.
He doesn't want to have this kind of sex.
Mm.
Oh.
He's a gangbanger only. He stumbled out of the kitchen, his wang fit to burst.
Oh.
Amy sighed and crushed 100 Viagras into her cheese and onion pie mix. It wasn't witchcraft at all, just a shit ton of Viagra. Later that night, as the guests scoffed their cheese and onion pies and forced beer down their randy gullets, Lord Cocklethorpe watched on, a weird feeling passing over him. Yes, he had an erection like a meter ruler made out of titanium, but he felt no desire to get involved in the Olympic-level swing session, happening on, against, and under his antique oak tables.
On, against, and under.
Bodily fluids were flying around like water from a killer whale splash at a sea life centre.
fucking
But he felt nothing. The makeshift cagoules provided to the guests were no match for the waterfall of jism flying around the room. He just stood there, deep in his thoughts.
Deep in cum.
Yeah.
I appreciate the use of jism.
Mm.
It's too often abbreviated to just jizz.
Mm.
Bring back jism.
He had a sudden realisation. All that was on his mind was Amy Gledhill, the ruby-haired siren of pies. He spun to his left-hand side, knocking over a massive quill with his engorged member. He worked his way down the kitchen, his knob knocking into various parts of the house like an over-enthusiastic dog wagging his tail so violently he has to wear a bandage on it. Have you seen those sad dogs? they just whack their tails against stuff.
Oh, yes.
And they're too thick to feel pain. They're just going like, ah, and then they have to get a bandage on their tail.
Where have you seen such dogs, Ian?
Just occasionally seen a dog like that
Yeah.
with a bandage, and it's just hitting stuff, and you're thinking, that's your problem.
And
yeah.
and Lord Cocklethorpe's dick is doing that?
Yes, it's swinging because it's had all the Viagra. It's still under the influence of Viagra.
Yeah.
So it's banging into stuff whenever he turns.
Yeah.
It's going like that.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
But he's
it's all
sad.
over the place.
There's nothing worse than sad with a boner.
Because you've got to move your body to move the boner. You know what I mean?
No.
So like, it's solid. It's out.
Yeah.
If a penis doesn't have a neck, it can't go. It can't go. Oh, I'm just going to look that way. You have got to move your body. So it's going on. Yeah, well, it's going all over the place is the point.
He could just tuck it into the waistband, maybe, of his trousers.
Not this penis.
No.
His cock was so long,
Oh?
he'd have needed a prophylactic the length of the Bayeux tapestry.
The what?
The Bayeux tapestry.
What's that?
It's the huge tapestry that depicts, I think, the Battle of Hastings or 1066.
Oh.
And it's long.
Well, this is very literary.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
In the kitchen, he found Amy washing the last of the pots, soap suds dripping off her body like a reveller at a foam party. It's not the food. I can't stop thinking about you. Ever since we made, or at least did the pre-prep for that pastry. You're all I can think about, he said. His penis still hard and long enough to hang 4 coats on, or 2 very wet towels. You're all I thought about, do, blushed Amy. Her face now as red as her own hair, so weirdly you couldn't tell the two apart. So she either looked like she had no hair but a massive head, or a big hairy head. Lord Cocklethorpe cleared everything from the counter simply by turning his body and using his penis.
Oh.
Melvin and Ian Smith that is, knew it was time for them to exit the kitchen again. Melvin panicked and limboed under Cocklethorpe's rigid rod piece, whereas Ian just walked out like a normal person. A fit one at that, and critically acclaimed in his field.
Oh.
I've done a bit for myself.
Yeah, nice.
Now Amy was having her clothes removed, like cling film being removed from refrigerated shortcrust pastry.
Mm.
And Cocklethorpe was about to be the cheese and onion filling.
Oh, wow.
It's getting sexy now. He thrusted with such speed that the heat from the friction was enough to fry an egg that they had crushed and lay on top of. This was the first time Cocklethorpe had felt, dare I say it, love. There were no oysters, no asparagus. He didn't need excitement of the revellers above. He only needed Amy Gledhill, who was now wanking him off in between her multiple Edinburgh Comedy Award trophies. The cold perspex and embossed sponsor logos bringing him to a climax so extreme it registered on the Richter scale and knocked some tiles off some poor family's dog shit roof.
What?
Dog shit.
Dog shit roof.
Knock some towels off a poor family's dog
Knock some
shit.
tiles.
Oh, tiles. Yeah. Okay.
I'd like you to be Mrs. Cocklethorpe, the Lord whispered as they lay on the granite work surface, still sizzling from the heat of intense lovemaking. I think I'll keep my own surname, replied Amy.
Oh.
But, yes. And they embraced on the kitchen counter, Cocklethorpe's penis pointing directly upwards like a sundial or a giant swing ball set. I think it takes a while
for the Viagra
to go.
Okay.
Especially there's so much in there. And then simply ends with, it's a tale as old as time.
Wow.
Beautiful.
You liked it, Amy?
I did. Like, there was a few bits I wasn't as keen on.
Like?
There is a bit where you said I was a witch, and also I'm spiking people with Viagra.
But I think you're a witch because they're like, we don't understand how these pies are giving us these hard-ons. And back in the day, it would be witchcraft.
I mean, you and I would be described as witches had we been alive during the witch trials.
For sure.
A witch is just a disruptive woman, and I like that.
Yeah, an outspoken woman. It's mad that those, and I'm not trying to devalue this, but isn't it mad that there was witch trials, and throughout all of them, they never found a witch, and that didn't at any point deter them to go, oh, that one has set on fire again. Actually, it's like the traitors when they keep banishing faithfuls. Like, no, we'll get one.
They had to stay committed to the cause after that much investment, that many dead fireballs. There must be a witch.
Yeah, you'd look silly if you went, guys, I don't believe in witches anymore.
Then you're a witch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't back down. Well, this was my problem, I think, with both works, is that there was some toxicity throughout. Amy, yours depicted Ian as participating in bestiality. Ian, your erotic fiction depicted Amy as spiking people with Viagra.
Yes.
Amy, I loved that your protagonist was a farmer. I found that very sexy. I liked also that your story was a roast. I'm not sure if it ventured into a distracting level. He was a bit of a red flag. I loved so many things, Ian, about your story. I like that you considered your protagonist jizzing into the cheese and onion pie. But in the end, the shortcrust recipe, I think, will keep people coming back. I would have liked to see you focus a lot more on the sex. It's erotic fiction. It made me laugh, but believe it or not, it requires more for women to feel aroused than just big dicks again and again. Big, hard dicks. Big dicks causing property damage, big dicks.
I just, you write what you know.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Amy Gledhill and Ian Smith, for your fantastic stories. It was very close. I was very close. Multiple times throughout the readings. And now the climax. The winner is Ian Smith. Come for the pies, stay for Amy Gledhill. CUM. Your book is the winner for me. And that is because I do think that a lot of bakers, a lot of cooks, a lot of people who are alone in the kitchen could be fingering themselves.
Yes, I agree.
And I just thought the marriage of these genres was really genius. And so Ian Smith is the winner of my very firm, rock-solid titanium handshake.
Okay. Thank you. That is very firm.
Would you like to deliver a winner's speech?
I would like to thank BBC Good Food for their definitive shortcrust pastry recipe, and for erotic fiction to be brought to the cooking world. I think it's very important because since Nigella Lawson only comes out at Christmas now, and I think we need all year round food-based masturbation.
That's nice. Well, Ian, thanks to you, I think we'll be turning all our ovens up to 4. Thank you to my guests, Amy Gledhill and Ian Smith. This has been Write Me Dirty. So there you have it. Hearing Ian Smith's story successfully fulfilled my aristocratic and cheese and onion pie fantasies. That book's going straight to print, and I'll be putting it on my bookshelf. And for those of you at home, if this has inspired you to write your own erotic story, I will leave you with just the tip. If you're struggling for inspiration before you get started, why not take a relaxing bath like Lady Oxbridge? The wetter the bath, the better the writing. That's all for me. Join me next time when 2 more guests will write me dirty.